More and more Americans are getting increasingly frustrated and irate with their employers, and for good reason. These companies, these huge entities, these large corporations are now starting to pull back many of the benefits that they allow their employees to take. And this could have a serious impact on America's workforce because essentially what you're looking at is a massive cut, whether it's in your pay or your perks. Here's the problem. About 30% of your overall pay, your compensation if you like, your package, is in these perks, whether it's healthcare, social security, childcare, you name it. If those are pulled back, essentially you're looking at a huge pay cut, which can leave you much worse off. Well, today I want to show you and explain what is going to happen, especially heading into 2025. And with a new presidency on the horizon, who knows what may happen with the law within America, because things can change pretty quickly. So we'll take a look at all of this, but before we do, it takes just 2 seconds. If you're new around here and you enjoy this video, please do consider hitting the like and subscribe button down below. And without further ado, let's get into it. So yes, it is as dramatic as it sounds. 30% of your overall compensation could be gone within a matter of weeks. We'll get to why in just a moment, but first, let's try and get some context behind this and have a look at what's actually going on today. Take a look at this. According to CBS News, you can see here that benefits make up at least, if not more than 30% of the typical job's compensation, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So, benefits are quite important. They make up a large chunk of your overall pay packet. But what is it that employers specifically are rolling back on now? Are they cutting salary or are they cutting benefits? Well, it doesn't look good for either, because it's not just the salary. Employers are also going about cutting back the benefits too. In addition to which, 1 in 4 companies have reduced current employees' salaries. Half have cut benefits. In August of 2024, they surveyed 1,000 business leaders to understand how economic pressures and a tight labour market were impacting salaries and benefits. And just look at some of these study highlights here. 27% of companies reduced current employee salaries. 51% of them cut benefits. 1 in 10 companies were not giving raises to any employees this year. 1 in 5 companies won't offer all employees cost of living adjustments. And 3 in 10 companies have reduced the salaries of current employees. Now, this was towards the latter stages of 2024, and heading into 2025, we could see exactly the same thing continuing, maybe even on a higher scale. But in terms of the benefits that were rolled back, let's take a look and see what employers are actually cutting from their employee packages. Well, if we take a look at the graph here, we can see that vacation days are the most common benefit that have been rolled back. 23% of people have said that's the benefit that's been reduced. Next in line, stock options, equity grants, followed by meal allowances, 401k matching, employee wellness programs, healthcare, and parental leave. So quite clearly, it's a vast, wide-ranging set of benefits that are being rolled back. So the culture quite clearly is changing in terms of what employers are offering their workforce. But this is where things get very interesting for me, because I stumbled across an article which said the following. From a 4-day work week to pet PTO, employee benefits in 2025 will focus on personalization. Essentially what that's saying is they are going to tailor the employee benefits that remain to suit the vast majority of the workforce, hence the term personalization. But this is where we could start to see a potential problem. Just take a read of this. As HR teams prepare for the year ahead, employee benefit packages are poised to undergo a dramatic transformation to meet the shifting expectations of a multi-generational workforce. And with Gen Z set to overtake boomers as the largest segment of the working world, and many traditional benefits losing their appeal, companies are getting more creative with their offerings to attract and retain top talent. Now, if they're saying Gen Z are now going to be the vast majority of the workforce, in terms of those that do not belong to Gen Z, aka the older generations, what's going to happen to their benefits? Because if you take what a Gen Z individual is looking for, they will be looking for maybe gym perks, exercise perks, more paid leave, etc. whereas someone of the older generation may be looking for more healthcare related benefits. The two don't marry, or childcare benefits. Gen Z won't be thinking about that just yet, but the older generations who have children will need to think about that. So, in terms of personalization, how is it going to marry up? And as far as healthcare is concerned, what we've seen over the past year is that people have become more unhealthy. So if anything, the healthcare perk is extremely important. From the New York Times, 3/4 of US adults are now overweight or obese. From The Guardian, Americans spend more time living with diseases than the rest of the world. From the University of Oxford, US adults are in worse health than their British counterparts at midlife. But this will all depend upon the company's average workforce age. If you have a workforce that's aged between 18 to 30, then of course, you can find more common ground in terms of personalizing the benefits. For example, a workforce between 18 to 30 may not have retirement planning, although it is important. They won't have it down as an immediate important priority. They'll be looking more at things like gym memberships, like paid time off, like sick leave if they do end up getting sick, all these kind of things, or staff discounts in shops that they can go to, whether it's retail, your local supermarket, wherever it may be. These kind of things matter to the younger generation. But if you have a workforce that's vastly sporadic and spread out across between 18 to 60, then the priorities and the ideas and hopes of the benefits package, they will vary quite dramatically, because people from 18 and people from 60 years old will want different things entirely. There may be some common ground, but it will be very, very limited. And I bring this to your attention because heading into 2025, we are likely to start seeing more companies start to implement these kind of changes where they take a wide, extensive benefits package offered to all of their employees and start to reduce that down over time. Now, some companies will do that slowly, where they will say something like, every quarter, we're going to take this off, or, we're going to try this for 6 months and then replace it with this instead. Strategy will completely depend. Some companies will do it immediately with immediate effect. It all depends upon the company and the industry. But the fact remains, this is very likely to start happening heading into 2025. And someone reached out to me with an example of this happening to them at their company. They explained that the sick day, the paid sick day allowance that they had before, across the entire year, they could take paid sick leave at any point during the year, whether it was spring or winter. They said that allowance had been significantly reduced. So they could still take time off if they were over that paid sick leave threshold. But after they got over the threshold, what would have still been paid sick leave a year before was now unpaid sick leave. So what the company have said is that if you are ill, you can still take time off, but we're no longer going to pay you for it if you cross this brand new threshold. The threshold was here before, we've now reduced it, so you need to be careful. That's just one example of how they will try and, I won't say manipulate, but how they will try and juggle things around and maybe try and sneakily reduce the benefits over time. But let's wait and see what happens. The corporate culture can change in a flash, and we've only just begun 2025. A year is a long time, although some people may disagree, and I understand that, but it is in fact a long time. Things can change very dramatically, so let's wait and see. Let's see if the employees will start advocating for more of the perks that they had before to cater to more of their workforce, or if employers will follow through with these personalized regimes. So let's wait and see, but it's going to be a very interesting time from that side of things. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. Have you experienced any of this with your company? Are there plans to implement these changes at your company? Let me know your thoughts down below. All opinions are welcome. And of course, as usual, I'll be returning soon in the coming weeks, but until then, see you all later. Hope you'll have a good day and take care.